Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Matters. For over 11 years, the voice of real estate in Flagler County and Palm Coast, Florida. I'm Toby Tobin. I'm the publisher of GoToby.com. I'm a contributing writer to the Palm Coast Observer. I'm a Florida licensed realtor with Landmark Group at Compass. Co-host Anna Maria Long is here in the studio with me again this week.
Hi.
She's gonna be telling us about what she did last week while she wasn't here towards the second half of the show. We'd, of course, like to thank our sponsors. Our primary sponsor is Veranda Bay. That's a private developing community of lots and luxury homes on the Intercoastal Waterway, just off John Anderson in Flagler Beach, featuring custom homes by Olson Homes, AR Homes by Arthur Ruttenberg, ICI Homes, and Holbert Homes. They've recently opened sections that feature homes by Toll Brothers and Dreamfinders. To learn more, visit verandabay.com. And we're also sponsored by the Flagler County Home Builders Association. That's where Anna Maria works. Mm-hmm. And by the Hammock Community Church, and that's where I am on Sunday mornings at 11. They also have a 9 o'clock service if you get up before I do. It's just the two of us today, no guest necessary, because you've got so much to tell us about the Southeast Builders Conference. But we're not, we are at the end of the month. We're recording this on July 31st to be broadcast on August 2nd. But the numbers are still rolling in. In the last couple of days, we usually get a little boost, usually from the builders, because they have their annual numbers they have to report to their stockholders and Wall Street folks. But month to date, July, this is through Thursday noon, 209 homes, single-family homes, have been sold. And that's via the Flagler MLS. The median price is $358.4, so $358,400 versus 259 homes sold a year ago at $360. So $358.4 versus $360.
Pretty darn close.
Pretty close. That's a coin flip away. Days on market, 66. And as you know, if you follow the show regularly, we track the 250,000 and below market. So far this month, only 13 have sold at that level. Days on market is 29. Remember that, so that compares to the overall 66. Mm-hmm. And 7 of those 13 were cash. And then we also track the $1 million plus market. So far through noon today, 9 of those have gone through the MLS reporting system. 27 is the days on market. So that
it's getting a little higher than it's been, but still low.
It's still less than half what the overall days on market
which is not normal.
No, it's counterintuitive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and 5 of those 9 were cash sales. The homes listed, 1,409, about what it was at the beginning of the month, about 5.5 months to probably pushing more towards 6 months because we're not going to hit last month's number of homes sold. So the number of homes listed is not changing.
Right.
But the number of homes sold is dropping. Mm-hmm. So 1,409 listed, 296 are pending. That's a little on the low side. It's about what it was at the beginning of the month, though. The median price on the pending homes, $374,490. So if you we're running right now, the selling price is running at 97% of the listing price. So if you just want to see what the reported sales look like over the next month and a half, take the 374,000 and multiply it times 0.97.
And then you get your number.
Yeah, we're not looking for a big dip in prices. Single-family building permits, we only have the City of Palm Coast numbers because they're the only people that have it online available. 90 permits issued for single-family residential homes and only 40 applied for. So the builders are definitely stepping back. Our largest volume builder locally is D.R. Horton, and they have no applied permits this month.
That's correct. Yes, our builder confidence nationally is down. It is down very low, lowest it's been in quite some time.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. And signs of the slowdown: permits are down, homes sold down, total volume of sales is down. And we have more builder concessions. When you talk to the builders, they're doing backflips to get people to commit to close. Things like buying down the interest rate is popular. Upgrades, like upgraded kitchen cabinets, upgraded flooring.
And they still have those low interest rates they can offer to qualified clients.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's important to note that we're looking at a slowdown and not a crash. We don't want to indicate to anyone that the sky is falling, because it's very much not. We're in no position like we were in 2008.
Yeah, just kind of food for thought on why prices remain relatively stable in a market that's sending out so many negative signals. And so I'm just going to read this. This was a post on LinkedIn by a fellow named Scott Simpson. So it starts out: is housing shelter for families, or is it an asset class for investors? And that's a pretty profound question. And to quote further, the Wall Street Journal recently reported that nearly 1 in 3 single-family homes sold this year were bought by investors. These aren't just the big institutional landlord. Increasingly, they're small-scale cash buyers and syndicates scooping up homes that would otherwise go to families. Meanwhile, ordinary home buyers, especially first-time buyers, are stuck between high mortgage rates, tighter lending standards, and elevated prices. The path to ownership is more out of reach than it's been in a generation. It wouldn't be surprising in a hot economy, but we're in a market where transaction volume has fallen. Affordability is worse than during the subprime bubble, and individual buyers are frozen out. Prices should be corrected, but they're not. Why? Because investor demand is quietly putting a floor under prices. Builders are selling excess inventory to cash buyers. Sellers know institutions can waive inspections and close fast. The result is a distorted market that won't clear. Here's the real problem. When home prices are supported not by end-user demand, but by capital markets looking for yield, housing stops functioning like shelter and starts functioning like an asset class. And when the entry-level home is treated like a financial product, working families can't compete. They're just not losing bidding wars or losing access to ownership. And that's...
He hit it right on the head.
I think, he nailed it. I mean, we've been kind of struggling coming to terms for the last several months of why the prices are staying pretty much where they are, but yet all the other signals are showing a down market.
We're used to seeing communities, especially out in the northwestern regions of the United States, that were owned by full communities owned by BlackRock and huge corporate entities. And everyone can obviously point and look and signal to that being a problem. But when you think of, an individual buying a house or a couple houses and then renting them out, that absolutely ends someone's access to home ownership.
And that's the only common denominator we have with the housing bubble of 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It became a financial product. The homes were not considered homes. They were considered an asset class that was invested in, and of course the big banks and hedge funds and such played a large role in that, as did the government by dropping lending standards. So anyway, I have a message. I've had a lot of conversations lately with people. One of my good friends just the other day said, "Boy, we've got a huge amount of new construction, don't we? It's everywhere, and it's pretty pervasive now. And if especially if you pay attention to social media, which there's a broad cross section of people that do, although the people that actually post is a narrower number. But here's something to think about. 50 years ago, and they one of the things they talk about when they're saying we have so much growth, we should have a moratorium.
Yes, we hear that all the time.
And the reason is because we've got 17 or 18,000 homes already in the queue. In the pipeline. Yeah, right.
What does that mean? They don't know.
Yeah, 50 years ago, Palm Coast Pipeline was 48,000 approved ITT lots. 50 years later, we have only 53,091 single-family homes in the entire county.
County, not city.
County.
Okay.
County, 53,090. And these are...
So that includes Flagler Beach, Bunnell, and Flagler County, and unincorporated. Got it.
The whole county. This number comes today from the property appraiser's office. Okay,
Perfect.
So if anybody thinks I make up numbers,
call Jay Gardner. For a cross-reference check.
But 53,091 single-family homes in the entire county over the most recent 5 years, our period of alleged rampant growth. The increase in single-family homes countywide has averaged only 1,990 homes per year.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm trying to pull up my fair fees page because I have a really good chart for when they said, everyone says this is the worst it's ever been. Like, I guess you weren't here 20 years ago because that was actually the highest period of growth.
There were a couple of years when we had over 4,000 building permits.
Yes, and that was during that time 20 years ago.
Yeah, when at a time when the population was less than half what it is now.
Right. And everyone came in herds almost. It was, a wild time. The building permits were, I joke, if you're going to claim extraordinary circumstances at any point in time, that would have been a really good time. Yeah. Because that time happened, you're pretty much never going to be able to say it for population's sake. You lost your one chance 20 years ago. Sorry.
Well, we need to take a quick break now. A good time for you to find that number.
Just got it.
Okay. Good. Don't go away, folks. As soon as we come back, you'll get the number.
Hi, this is Ken Belshie at Veranda Bay, inviting you to see over 40 new, never-released home sites. Phase 1 sold out in record time, so don't miss your chance on Phase 2. All home sites have planned water access with resort-style amenities. These are big, estate-sized lots. Schedule your private showing now at verandabay.com.
On the water, beyond belief, Veranda Bay.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. This is the second half of Real Estate Matters. Thanks again to Veranda Bay for being our prime sponsor for this show. We were waiting before the break as Anna Maria quickly scrolled through her phone to find us some important numbers.
So I'm looking at a chart, or I plotted the numbers. So I don't have precise numbers, but I'm looking. So we're at 2003. We're at around 3,500 permits. 2004, just under 4,000 or just at 4,000. 2005, we were at that 3,500 again. And then obviously 2006, 7, 8 kind of, and then it just really went down from there. I mean, there was a time, and if you moved here during that time, which statistically there's a good chance you did move here in 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So during that time, we were actually getting less than, all the way from 2007 to 2015, less than 500 permits per year in Palm Coast. However, during that time, that same time, when the permits were the lowest, our population, what did I say, 2007 to 15? Our population went from under 60,000 to just over 80,000.
Yeah, and now,
but less than 500 permits were issued each year. So the reason I plotted the 2 points of data, permits issued and population, and put them side by side, was because I wanted to know, is there a correlation between permits being issued and population increasing in Palm Coast? Because that's the argument, right? We have to stop building because there's too many people. I got my house, so nobody else can come in. The gates have to close. That's what we're saying.
Well, a lot
Shut
of
the
those
gate.
were speculative homes that just were empty.
But the population actually increased when the permits were not issued.
Well,
So moratoriums don't solve the problems.
no, they should.
As we've said before, but now I have the data that proves it. And I love a good chart.
Yeah, they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and
It definitely helps for putting it into perspective.
yeah, but you can reduce that to the lowest denominator and say a word is worth 1,000th of a picture. That's
My kind of math.
That's my math background.
That's your math.
So the reason Anna Maria wasn't here last week was because she was in Orlando at the Southeastern Builders Conference,
Yes.
and she's I can never remember.
I'm the
real title.
executive officer, my real title. HBIC, if anyone knows what that means. Right, the executive officer of the Flagler Home Builders Association.
Okay, and in that role, she attended the Southeast Builders Conference. So,
Correct.
Anna Maria, what were the top 3 concerns facing builders today? Just the buzz around.
So for Florida specifically, which the majority of attendees are from Florida, however, people do travel from surrounding states. We are now the largest building conference and show floor building show in the Southeast. We have actually grown larger than the one in Texas, which I feel like is a huge accomplishment. One of the largest problems is the rising cost of governmental fees. And those would be impact fees, permitting, art fees, all the tack-ons. And so that's a huge issue all over the state. Second would be the consumer confidence. You know, there's a lot of issues where the consumer is just not quite ready to bite the bullet either way.
Yeah, I think that's would be number 1 on my list. I think that's just what the buyer's demand is there. They just don't feel comfortable enough to pull the trigger today.
Absolutely. And then
Immigration and labor.
yeah, so that was a big talking point, and some people are almost like fearful to talk about it, but it does come up in a lot of side conversations, and our economist from NAHB was there, and that's what I'm thumbing through is some of our slides just to get a little bit of data. So President Trump, he took out the agriculture and hospitality industries from the ICE raids and is, I believe, working on pathways to keeping them in our country legally. If they're already here and they meet qualifications, if I believe. So NAHB, the National Association of Home Builders, is working on a way to carve out that same structure policy for the construction industry. It's really necessary in the same way that it is for agriculture and hospitality for our country.
We already, even with illegal immigration as part of the workforce, we're still under staff. We still have a shortage of skilled labor.
Absolutely, yes. So the skilled labor shortage continues on, but one thing that is deeply concerning, and it hit the news cycle around the same time that we learned about it from Dr. Dietz, the economist, is our birth rate. So I believe I remembered these numbers correctly.
Don't look to me.
My part. Don't look to me either. I did above and beyond. So the birth rate that the United States requires to maintain our systems, if you will, you know, to have people to take care of elderly, for people to pay into the Social Security system and taxes to keep everything going, we need to have a birth rate of 2.4. Okay. That's where we should be. South Korea, that we know is in trouble, is at 1.2.
And China's even worse off.
And guess where we are?
We're about 1.6.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. I know you watch the news.
That's the extent of my sex life, is knowing numbers like that.
Well, I have 3 kids, so I just want everyone to know, don't look at me. I did my part. I'm done. But yeah, you know, that's super troublesome. And then the question now is, why aren't Americans having kids? Do you think it's because they can't buy a house?
Well, the household formation age has risen dramatically over the last 10
I think
years.
I also read that more 40-somethings are having kids than teenagers, which is, I mean, hey, the end teen pregnancy thing works.
And that's about the average age of a first-time home buyer now, too. 39, 40.
And it's making it all's lining up. It's not. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. Things that people want when they're having a pregnancy, a planned pregnancy, is they want stability.
Well, and if we aren't going to have more babies, the only way we can compensate is to have immigration. And
yes,
so
right. If you take all the immigrants out, then
we've got a declining birth rate.
Yeah, declining birth rate and a declining population in general. Immigrants do pay into, even though they don't receive benefits, they do pay into, was it $90 billion in taxes last year? If you take that money out, then that's money that the government can't use. So it's a catch-22.
It's a complicated issue.
It is more complicated. We won't solve it in however many minutes we have left on this show. But I do think President Trump's efforts to make space in the industries of agriculture and hospitality are important. And I hope that his administration makes those same efforts in the construction industry, because they're necessary. I do want to shout out Matanzas High School, Future Builders of America. They built a work table to do the building competition, and they won second place. So we're very proud of them. And then I got bought the raffle ticket, and I won the raffle. So we got to bring it home to Flagler County.
Well, where is it?
Well, it's currently back at Matanzas High School, because we want to do some media stuff with it.
So it's not at your house.
It will be. It's going to be my husband's.
Okay, well, in the short amount of time we have left, did you come across any innovative construction trends that might be showing up among our local builders?
A lot of the same stuff that hasn't quite made it to Palm Coast yet, or is very rare in our market. So the ICF walls, which Florida Green Building is the only one that does it. Florida Green Building and Construction.
And they've been doing it for years.
They have, yes. Yeah. They're 100% experts at it. And the AstroTurf stuff, it's not allowed in front yards in Palm Coast, but it is allowed in your backyard. There's a million great reasons for it. Trying to think of what else is on the show floor. Of course, there's always advances in plumbing fixtures and lighting, things like that. There was a really cool soundproof door. And I know that might sound silly, but depending on how many children you have and where you live.
Well, if you have more density, which, we're concentrating the density, your neighbors are closer now than they might
if you're in a townhome, things like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or just for the sake of You know, if you live on an area that there's people going to be walking by, like in your beachside.
Or if you live near I-95.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Well, we got to wrap it up. You ready to?
Yeah.
Prepared to do the?
I am. I am always just 1 second away from being ready.
One page
Where's the back
away.
page? Okay, let's do it. You can watch Real Estate Matters on YouTube or listen to an Apple podcast. Go to landmarkgroupfla.com and click on Real Estate Matters Podcast in the top navigation bar, or go to the Flagler Beach TV Facebook page.
Good. And remember, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home or commercial property, consider working with me and the rest of the experienced team at Landmark Group Compass. You can reach me at 386-931-7124, or you can email me at toby@gotoby.com. See you back next week. I'm Toby Tobin, and I approve this show.